I guess, and your goals.
So, if you've seen my OPGG, you'll see that I was playing mid before, and like a few weeks ago, I've started playing AD carry.
Okay, okay.
So yeah, I'm just looking to kind of like get to the same. I mean, on mid, I was sort of like, yeah, for the past 2 seasons, I've been sort of like stuck D5, D4. And so I just kind of want to get to at least the same level, AD carry wise.
Interesting, interesting. So what made you want to switch roles?
I don't know. It was just kind of like just in the moment thing. I don't know. I just started playing Tristana, and I just really enjoyed playing the champion. So I've just been
Okay.
like spamming Tristana.
It's just fun, right? Nah, I
Sorry?
got you. I got you. It's just fun, right?
Yeah,
So,
yeah, it's fun.
no, I got you. That's good. That's good. Tristan is a good champion for solo queue. So, I'm sure we can take a look and see where things we can improve on. Because seems like we're kind of on a bit of a losing streak here.
Yeah, it's not been going great so far.
Wait, so have you not played in 5 days?
Yeah, I can. Problem is, I can only play weekends.
Oh no. Okay, okay,
Yeah.
okay. We'll see what we can do about that. But let's take a look at these then, shall we? Which
Yep.
which one of these do you think kind of best shows your average gameplay?
Um. You mean which game?
Yeah, which game? Which game? Which one of these three?
Probably. Like I'd say my like average KDA is probably like 7-4, 8-4. So probably like there's one where I go 6-4 and 4, and one where I go like 9-4 and 8.
Let's just take a
Like
look
I'd
at
say.
just the random one, I guess. Any of these are good?
Game. I think not game 1 because that one I just like tilted. So I'd say game 2 or 3.
Okay, let's take a look.
Probably game 3. I think it's a better.
Probably game 3. All right. Game 3 it is. Game 3 it is. How do you think your laning phase? So if we gave you like a few categories in terms of like stages of the game, how would you rate yourself? Like below average, average, or above average? So if I said, laning, mid game, late game, and team fights, what would you say?
Laning, I'd say maybe like below average because like matchups that are like even I do okay in, but like matchups that I lose, I just lose like super hard, and I'll just like not int, but I'll get like I'll go like 20-30 CS under. Mid game, I think is like average, and like I think like late game team fights I play them okay, so I'd say like average, maybe above average.
Okay, okay. Um, Good to know. Good to know. So I think maybe the something you consider your like weakest part of gameplay is like laning, I guess, right? Could be something. Okay, okay. Hold on. Let's
I
see
mean,
what's going on
I'd
here.
say like maybe average kind of everywhere. Like I don't really think I'm like super good in one particular aspect.
Like not sure, basically, right? Um, so tell me about this lane, okay? If we gave you, have you seen my other coaching videos?
Yeah. I've seen some other coaching videos.
You've seen ones where we talk about like laning and like lane categories and stuff like that, right?
Yeah.
So what would you say Lulu Tristana is
I'd
in
say
terms
it's
of that
more
category?
maybe like poke.
Poke. Okay, so
Poke lane.
what on your who can poke in your lane?
Lulu. Good like Q or.
I would say kind of. Okay, we'll say that's a kind of. But
Because what lane categories are there? There's like catch, all in, poke, and what was the other one?
Trade.
Trade.
Right.
Okay, maybe it's more like poke/trade because I don't think it's really catch because you haven't got really anything to like. It's not like a fresh hook or blitzcrank.
Right. So
it's already like all in. So.
Okay, this is interesting. Okay, so
Okay,
when we talk about poke, what comes to mind?
well, yeah, okay, maybe poke is more like if you've got like a brand support or Zyra where you're just looking to like use your spells most of the time.
So how would you like define it? I guess I always hated this part, but like how you like how do you define this word? When you're doing like 4th grade. But how would you define poke, like in a dictionary?
Just like, I mean, how would I define it? Just like doing damage from time to time. It's not like where you all in and try and burst. It's just like chipping health.
So if they hit you back, you're chipping their health, but they hit you back. Is that poke?
No, that's more like trading, I suppose.
Right. So the important distinction is that they can't hit back.
Yeah.
Right. There's no response. You poke, you throw your shit at them, they have no response. Right.
Okay.
So in this lane, would you say Lulu can poke? Because she can't. Yeah. Right. She cannot poke. Right. Because what's the response? What's the response if she tries to poke? Quote unquote.
Well, just Janna shield.
Okay, yeah, Janna shield could be a response, right? Janna just hits back, or Kaylin just hits back as well, right?
Back, yeah.
So, if this is like they had no response, like Vayne or something like that, right? Vayne and Leona or something, then they have no response. You could say maybe she's like poke, right? But I would say not really, right? So kind of poke trade, I would say.
Yeah.
But Lulu's kind of a weird. Lulu's kind of like a weird one, right? Because her trade is so strong that it's almost considered poke because they have no response to the trade. So, but in certain lanes, it's definitely not poke, like in this lane, right? Because you'll see later. I rewinded, but she walks up and then she tries to trade with Kaylin. She loses the trade, right? So, and then you said you had no catch, but if your Graves comes, what are you gonna do to help him?
Well, Lulu can like polymorph slow with Q, I suppose.
Right, but it's not as, like you said, it's not as strong as like some other champions, right? So we'll say you kind of like have half a catch. Like you have if we had like a point system, you would like say something like we have half a point in catch because Tristana can jump and Lulu can slow, right? But it's not like a Braum Q. That's disgusting, right? Or Blitz Hook. And then you said something interesting where you said you didn't have all in. Right. So what's the definition? What would you say the definition of all in would be?
All in, I'd say, is like where you go in and basically you kill them or they kill you. Like sort of like when I think of all in, it's like a Leona, just like, I mean, if she hits her E, then it's all in after. Like you go in and it's not like you can just do some damage and then go out. It's like you go in and you try and kill or at least make them burn summers or something.
So basically, it's like a committed fight.
Yeah, it's a committed fight. Yeah.
Exactly. Right. So if I say, have you ever played against Kog'Maw Lulu, right? Yeah. Now, Lulu and Kog'Maw don't have any hard CC. How can they make you stay? But would you agree with me if I said they were all in?
Yeah, because if you get hit by the slow, then they're just gonna chase you.
They're gonna fucking run you down. The Ardent Sensor meta was disgusting for that, right? It's just like, all of a sudden, everyone learned that Kog'Maw Lulu is all in, right? I didn't know before until I got ran over, and I was like, holy shit, right? You're donezo, right? So what's the difference between Kog'Maw Lulu and Lulu Tristana? Why can't Lulu Tristana be all in?
Well, I suppose if you jump in with Lulu, with Tristana, you can then be all in.
Right, so why would we give you guys, in this specific matchup, the all-in advantage? Compared to, say, Janna, Kaylin?
Well, Lulu, like, with Lulu, we have the polymorph, the slow. I mean, Lulu gives me empower. I mean, Janna gives that too to Kaylin.
What's the... how do you know that if you all in, you're guaranteed to win? If everyone's has the same stuff, like no minion advantage, full HP, all sums on. How do you know that you win automatically with all in?
Because I'll do more damage, I guess.
How do you know you'll do more damage? It's kind of related, but
I guess because I mean. I have like E, Q to I mean, I suppose Caitlyn also has her E and her Q, but like Tristana's bomb, her empowered Q, like with the Lulu E that gives shield, empowered auto, like I think it's probably better at all-in than a Janna who's just gonna shield, maybe try and Q to disengage.
I would say that the numbers don't quite work out in your advantage, like heavily. It doesn't clearly tell you you're gonna win. Like Draven numbers will tell you you're clearly gonna win, right?
Yeah.
But in this case, the comparison doesn't. It seems kind of even, right? But what's the difference between Tristana's damage and Caitlyn's damage? Like, how do you do damage? How do you do damage?
Burst damage, I guess, than Caitlyn with like her bomb.
This is technically true, but can Tristana's damage miss?
No, like it's only auto attack and like point and click based.
Point and click, baby, right? And then can Lulu miss?
Well, she can miss a Q, I suppose, but like if she E's me or point and clicks W.
Yeah,
like,
basically point and click, right? I don't think you ever see Lulu miss a Q and an all in, right? That's just like it's right in their face. Okay, how about Jenna? What can she miss?
She can miss her Q.
Right, tornado can be dodged, right? With what?
Just like sidestepping.
Okay, this is true. How do you flash, right?
Yeah.
Guaranteed to dodge, right? What about Caitlyn? What part of Caitlyn's damage can be dodged?
Like her Q, her E, her W.
Right. So in an all-in, you guys will automatically win, right? That's how. In terms of matchup base, you guys have point and click, and if they miss one thing, you guys win.
Yeah.
But if they don't miss anything, then that's when we don't know, right? That's how we don't know. It's just if everyone lands everything, we got a problem because we don't know who's winning. Now it becomes who started with more HP or who has more items or who's focusing who, right? But beyond the all-in category, you guys are kind of losing in most of the others, right? I would say. So what happened in this lane? Well, I guess what could you do in this lane that could be better? I would say. Let's back it up. Can you see my screen on Discord, by the way?
No. Oh yeah, no, I can. Okay, now I can.
Okay, yeah. I turned it on super late, but good thing we didn't really get to see anything important yet. So, what is something we could do better here? Like if we fast forward past these.
The early trading was fairly bad. Like when I burnt my sums, I like committed to hitting. Like I landed a bomb on her and committed to hitting her, and I just lost that trade super hard, so I ended up pretty low.
So the reason why you lose here is because you start with less HP, right?
Yeah.
I would say.
Yeah.
So here's the thing. Okay, I'm gonna give you two kind of ideas to mull over, but and one of them is gonna be less useful than the other. But the first is when you have similar lanes in terms of sustain or trade or poke or whatever, you want to focus the support.
Okay.
Right, and the reason being is because let's say Caitlyn, Jenna hit your Lulu, and Lulu hits back, and then you walk over, and then they disengage. That was a 2v1, right?
Yeah.
Let's say Caitlyn and Jenna walk up and hit you, and then you hit back. Lulu shields you. Is this a 2v1 or a 2v2?
Well, it depends if. Well, no, it's 2v2 because Jenna will shield the Caitlyn though.
Right. You got a shield from Lulu. So what's the difference between them focusing Lulu and them focusing you?
Lulu's hitting the Caitlyn too.
No, you couldn't help the Lulu, right? But she could help you.
Oh
yeah. The idea,
okay.
Right? So if you guys can find a way to focus Jenna, then you would know that's automatically winning. Right? If you can hit Jenna and Caitlyn cannot hit you, that's automatically winning, right? Anytime that Caitlyn's in front, you're either going even or you're not sure.
Or
right?
losing,
Right, yeah. Not sure, right? So that's not what you want. So if you don't know, you don't really want to
trade,
exactly. You don't trade. It's not clear that anyone wins this trading. So you always want to have a reason to trade. Maybe your jungler's here, he's gonna chase them, right? Then you can trade. But we're kind of trying to hit people in a I don't know if you have a reason. Like here, what if you hit Jenna here? Is this winning or losing? In terms of what we just said.
Well, we're winning because Jenna's forward, so I'll just get shielded.
Yes. That's how you know you can hit her and you're automatically winning, right? And then you leave before Caitlyn comes in. Bam, 2v1 real quick. And then you do that 5, 6, 7 times, they lost the lane, right? They have no HP. So the problem with if we kind of had told you that, I think you would have played this lane a lot cleaner, right? In terms of, making sure we know when we want to fight and stuff. Actually, Graves did come for a gank, but how do we know it's not going to work?
Well, we pushed on the tower with lower HP, and Graves, I think Graves is low on mana too.
The biggest indicator is that...
And we're fighting in their minions.
Yeah, but the biggest indicator is that you don't have a guarantee. Okay, and what I mean by guarantee is like a blitz hook, right? And they have no flash. Would be you hit this specific ability and you win. We don't have anything like that, right? So that's how we know that this isn't gonna work. You don't really have a way to kill them. So it's good that we don't really try and chase. But I think Lulu kind of tried try to get in here. That's probably not good. But at least he kind of helped you guys recover the lane. So,
yeah.
not the worst gank, I guess. Right. Interesting. But yeah, basically, let's say, you know, you can't really trade or poke. What should your objective be?
Just farm, I guess.
Right. You just want to get as much money as possible.
Yeah.
Right. And that's really all you care about. Interesting how we're using our bomb there. But let's say, you know, it's 2v2 and Caitlyn misses her Q, or she uses on the minion wave. You would say that's your time to jump in.
Yeah.
Right. So just knowing your matchup is just level 6. Honestly, before level 6, you can go for an all-in. Oh, okay. This is what's the win condition here? What was the specific thing that would kill Janna?
Getting her slowed.
Yes, your W slowed her, so you should kill her, right?
Yeah.
How come she? Oh my god! Oh my god! How come she almost got away? Let's say Graves didn't land that ulti. That was actually fucking disgusting. Wow. What was something we don't
Graves
have
got
that we
hit
should
by-
have?
Sorry.
What's something we should have but we don't have?
Ultis maybe? Or
No. What ability do you not have that you should have right now?
Well, I just used my W. Or my did I not have my bomb?
You did not have your E, right?
Okay.
So what happened here? What happened here? Let's take a look.
Yeah, okay, I used my E.
All right. So is it ever okay to use your bomb on minions?
Not really.
I would say for now it's not.
I mean, it depends. Yeah, I like if you just want to clear quickly, if like fast push. But...
Yeah. Okay. Let's say it's PVE and there's no one in the lane. Yes.
Yeah.
But if there's anyone in the lane, for now we'll say never use it.
Don't use it.
Okay. Never use abilities on minions. Right. I promise you do not need to do that for until you're at least Diamond 1. Right. It's not necessary. Right. Something like this is always gonna happen before that becomes relevant. Right. Some kind of gank, some kind of fight, some kind of all-in trade, poke, whatever. That will always happen before you know, you clearing minions is gonna matter. Right. Well, the reason why I always say this is because at the higher ranks, people aren't going to make this mistake, right? Which means, oh, maybe you need to clear these minions faster so that they don't do damage to your tower. But
yeah,
we're not really at that level yet, right?
Yeah,
so never use it. It's a bad habit. It's a bad habit. Even when I do it, I'm like, oh shit, I'm making a mistake, right? Don't do it. Don't do it. Never want to use abilities on minions, including this stuff, right? Anything that involves using abilities on minions. It's better to walk and hit and miss those minions, okay, than it is to build a bad habit, right? League is all about building like as good habits as you can, so that when the time comes, you won't be making mistakes that you don't really notice, right? Because like that gank would not have worked if, you know, Graves didn't have 2 kills or something like that, right? But if he was 0-0-0, or even if you guys had deaths, it would work if you had your bomb, because you can get your bomb reset and slow her again, right? So what's going on here? Oh my god! Oh baby! All right, clean jump. He's so dead. Oh. What? Why didn't he just wait for his ulti? Do you see this? What? Interesting. He just wanted more, but I don't see how he kills LeBlanc, so that's kind of awkward. Oh, you actually gonna get this. Nice. Jump out. Very clean. Good. Okay, so seems like we have no problems with kind of fighting, but so far the thing that we could work on is our matchup idea, right? Yeah. Is when it's trade versus trade, focus their support. Otherwise, you don't want to trade unless you have a reason to, like your jungle's coming or something like that, right? But other than that, you know, not bad at all. Going for this look is fine, I think. I was just kind of unfortunate that yeah, the tornado is on your face, but okay. This Shaco's dying. What is he doing? Oh, maybe not. Oh, that gank definitely doesn't work, right? How do we know this gank doesn't work? Remember what we talked about?
I have ulti.
Remember what we talked about?
There's nothing to CCS.
Right. Okay. So we'll call it the gank condition. I'm gonna coin a term right now. We'll call it the gank condition. The gank condition is something. This has to happen for the gank to work. All right. What is that thing?
Like Janna lands Janna lands a slow on us, like with W or Q.
I would say even the slow is not gonna work. Right. We need something bigger. We need something that's like you instinctively know. Yeah, okay, maybe a Caitlyn trap, or like Janna ultis you guys backwards. Or maybe a Janna cancels your jump. But how do we know none of that works? They're too far away. So
Yeah.
that's how we know Gank's gonna work or not gonna work, right? It's always good to know for bot lane ganks, and I think I'm kind of mentioning it because a lot of action's going on in your lane. But
Yeah.
usually it is something you need to think about when the enemy jungler is ganking. But I think you're doing just fine, right? What happened here? How do we go? How do we go this way? Okay, so you think you can kill her? How do you know you can kill her?
Well, she's just used W. Like if she goes back to it, Graves is just gonna kill her. So.
Oh my god, there's no way. Oh my god, you actually got her. Holy shit. This is actually so lucky. Look at this slow right there.
Yeah.
That's actually insane. But yeah, I would say okay, fine. I would say it's a good roam. And it's only a good roam because you got the kill.
Yeah.
Right, because you guys lost a bunch of minions and stuff, but you guys are gonna kill them here, maybe. Gain condition is just it's just purely damage, I guess. Graves is so strong, he just has to touch someone and then they're gonna die. So nice try going for the Kaylin, but you know you're gonna get her anyways. You just push the tower in, right? Did you guys get her?
I think she.
Oh, maybe LeBlanc is on the way, so you guys are scared or something. So that's fine.
Yeah.
Whatever. Push this out. Good. All right. So we don't really have any problems fighting. It looks like, from my point of view. So far so good. Just because laning might not go so well. As long as you don't die in lane, you're okay. You're doing okay, right? And the fact we have 3 kills means we're not losing lane for sure. We're not losing this game, even though our CS is like less.
CS is pretty bad.
It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter at this rank. I promise. Only the big stuff like dying to gank or dying to roam or anything like that will actually impact your game.
Okay.
Or taking damage when the matchup says it doesn't make sense. Right?
Yeah.
So yeah. Let's see. We went mid here. What's the reasoning for going mid?
Well, Janna came mid to help Caitlyn. To help LeBlanc. Caitlyn's like alone top, so Sign should just be able to deal with her, and Kassadin's just split pushing bot. I mean,
right. So
bot,
what's the big reason why you want to swap mid? Like the biggest reason.
So we just want to like roam around to get the outer towers.
Okay. Why wouldn't you swap with top instead? Let's ask that instead.
I guess because.
Holy shit! This guy is 1v9. The big reason.
Darius is like pretty. I mean, he's not fed, but.
Here's a hint. This has to do with your team comp.
Oh, I get. Wait. So why? Well, I guess because if we go top, that means Sion have to go like mid or bot. Whereas like Sion going mid isn't necessarily great, and Kassadin doesn't really want to stay mid. He just wants to split. So
perfect, right? Kassadin, no one wants the mid. Yeah. Perfect, right? That's the sole reason. That's your biggest reason. I wouldn't say sole reason, but that's your biggest reason. Is because your Kassadin does not want to be mid lane anymore, right? In the mid game, he wants to be able to, once he gets his item, he wants to be able to pressure in the side lane, right? That's the big idea, right? It's like the reason why you can't just go mid sometimes is because what if you have a Xerath, for example? He's definitely not want to go to side lane. Or what's another good example? Anivia too, right? Anivia is definitely a mid lane champion. So
like all those mage control mage.
All right, so what happened here? What happened here?
Got killed by Shaco.
Right. So how do you prevent this?
Probably just like leave. I mean, I'm already midlife. We don't know where Shaco is, so he could just one-shot me at any moment.
Right. So what do you do instead of? Okay. So what are we trying to do right now?
Instead of pushing here, I could just like base.
Okay. I think base is an option if you have an item. What else? What else can you do?
Play further back.
Well, further back is like, are you gonna like sit on? Like, what should you do instead of pushing mid? Let's say Shaco's coming. He's gonna one-shot your ass. If you push mid, what do you do instead?
Either go on the lane or just, as I said, recall.
Right, you could recall. You could stand in a spot where he has to deceive and not get to you in time, right? Anything like that. or
Well,
go
that's
bot,
what I meant
right?
by staying further back. But yeah. Like,
Yeah, but
okay.
like, let's say he never shows up, then what are you doing? That's the problem.
Yeah,
with
yeah.
just saying further back is that we're not really doing anything, right?
Thing, yeah.
So the big idea is that the way to prevent this is like, oh yeah, of course, if he's missing on the map, you shouldn't. You should be wary of a gank. You should be scared of a
Yeah.
gank. But the other idea is don't siege the tower unless you have a reason to.
Okay.
Right. So when we talk about like big reasons, remember how like in laning phase, we're like, oh, what's the gank condition? You have to have a big reason to win, or you have to have a big reason to trade, or you have to have a big reason for XYZ. So big reason for sieging would be like they're all dead, right? So they can't defend, or you have Baron, so they can't defend, or you have a Lux. You're just gonna stand here and throw shit at them until they do something, right?
Yeah.
Or you have a Blitzcrank. That's my favorite. You have Blitzcrank. You just stand here and he's like going for. Yeah. So what's our reason here?
Well, here there's no reason really.
Exactly.
To pushing mid.
That's how you know. Well, you can push mid, but you don't want to hit the tower, right? I think we actually got unlucky because we were at the tail end of finishing off this mini wave, but you came back, which indicates to me that you wanted to keep going after you clear the wave, right? So. Right, it's just like, after you push, you leave if you can get engaged on. Just don't aim tower, basically, right?
Yeah.
Aiming bot would be great. Aiming dragon would be great. Basing if you think you're gonna die is gonna be great, right? Anything like that, especially when they have LeBlanc, Shaco, whatever, Rengar, Kha'Zix, Camille. You've seen it. Everything nowadays is gonna kill you, right?
Yeah.
Pretty much everything in your game is gonna kill you nowadays. So, okay, let's see. We're starting up this dragon. How come we don't want to start up this dragon?
Well, they're all alive, so it's kind of like a 50-50 where they can just like. Caitlin's pushing bot.
What's our big reason to start this?
Sorry.
What's our big reason to start this? Remember, we always have to have a reason for everything, right? So what's our reason to start the dragon?
Here to start Drake.
You have like half a reason, which is it's pink warded, right?
And there's a pink ward, yeah.
Right. But the other big negative is that you don't have smite. So
yeah.
You guys definitely want to know. You guys definitely don't want to do this, right? Oh no, this is 4v5, isn't it? All right. This is gonna be really dicey. You guys just need to run. Okay. Wow. It could have been really bad. If you guys can kill the Shaco immediately, maybe you can win 4v5. But yeah, I think you guys just want to run.
Yeah.
Interesting. So, what should you do instead of dragon?
Well, go and clear bot because Caitlyn just pushed, or just stay mid.
Right. Any of those options are good, right? Yeah. But anything that's not including starting dragon, because you can't. Physically can't. So let's say you can't go bot because team wants bot, and you can't roam bot because no fight's gonna go on, and you just pushed mid. You can just stay in a bush or at your tower, right? Anything like that is fine. But basically, don't do like objectives without your smite unless they're all dead, right? I think that's a rare case, but it's pretty much what you want to do. And then here, pushing bot is great, 10 out of 10.
Are you having connection issues? You've got, or is it me? You've got like a robotic voice.
Oh, I don't think I'm having connection issues, but
wait, I'm not having connection issues. I think. Like,
want to restart the call?
Yeah, maybe just restart the call. We'll fix it.
Okay, let's see. Back? Anything? Is it better?
Okay, yeah, it's fine now.
Interesting. Maybe it was just a Discord thing, honestly.
Maybe it's just Discord, yeah.
Okay, this is dicey, right?
Yeah.
What should you do instead of this, I would say? Because you never really want to do this, right? Let's say everyone's like in-ramming mid, and then you see them all on the map. What do you do?
Right now, like, I don't know, maybe just... Okay, we see Caitlyn, Janet up. I don't really know, like, maybe...
See, because you see Janet, Caitlyn top, I think this is okay. But
yeah.
Most of the time, you want to do something else, right? Honestly, I just think there's just nothing else to do in this situation, so you came to help.
Not much else, because Pauline's pushing already, like, maybe
right.
Bot, but...
Exactly, so... And then we can hit this here, because, you know, they have no Darius, so...
Yeah.
And sure, seems to me that your mid game is not bad either, right? So what happens here is probably some kind of team fighting or dying to map awareness, right? something like a gank or something like that. Oh, okay. What? Oh, we going in. Oh my god. We are going. Oh my god, we are going in. Hot damn, interesting. All right, that was really good. Oh my god, canceled his. Okay, we got, dude, we are on fire. So what goes wrong with our gameplay for us to
just keep dying
not be winning
and kind of just throw the game like that.
Interesting. So okay, sure, push mid, and then if not sure what else to do, just keep pushing. Sure, your top's gonna push and then time for you guys to find something to do. Yep, okay, group top, I think that's fine. Oh, okay, we're hitting tower, which is always a dicey option. Oh, yep, it is. See, things are going wrong, right? That's why we always say don't siege tower, right? Because you guys don't really. Okay, all right, let's go back. All right, so this is actually becoming a kind of a recurring theme that we keep trying to siege, right? Yeah. And I always say that this is not good in solo queue because it's not good in solo queue, right? All it takes is one person to dive or one person to get caught in an engage or something like this. All it takes is for something like this to happen, and it's not even under your control. Yeah. Right. And it's just sieging is just not gonna be good most of the time. What should you do instead? After you push this in,
like maybe base and go bot, or
what super strong objective is up now?
There's Baron. Like I was gonna say, maybe get vision around Baron.
Right, get vision around Baron. So if they want to check, they have to face check. I think that is a better fight than fighting under their tower, right? Yeah. And then this is just you know. Yeah,
staying for no reason.
We can't. There's no reason to hit the tower, right? We don't have a reason. So of course it's just over, right? It's just basically don't hit the tower, right? You got to find a different option than hitting the tower. I think for the mid game, it's really important for you to focus on this idea of your only goal is to make money. That's what I want you to think. Okay. Your only goal is to make money. So if you see camps, you take camps. You see lanes, you take lanes, right? You push them out past the river. I think you're doing a really good job of this. It's just that after you do this, you like try and hit the tower. You try and siege. Anything like this is 10 times better. You want to fight for dragon? This is much better than going for tower, right? Much better. LeBlanc is actually being super annoying, but since your Cassidy is coming, you guys should be okay, right? This better be winning. I'm pretty sure this is winning. Oh, you died to Shaco. Okay. Let's see what happens in this fight. All right, two big things I think with our gameplay. One is the what we already talked about, right? We always take the tower option. I think that is the worst option for now. I think that's the option you want to take last, right? The second is when it comes to fighting, what is your first priority?
You mean team fights?
Any kind of fight, skirmish, team fight.
Well, hitting
anything like
what's
that.
in front of me.
Okay, so let's say they have a Rengar, right? And you try and hit the closest guy, which is Malphite, who already used ult. And then Rengar kills you, one shot. What happened?
I died to Rengar.
Right, so we didn't really accomplish anything, even though we were hitting the closest guy. Right, so what's our first priority?
Not to die to Shaco, I guess.
Yes, not to die to whatever their shit is, right? It could be anything nowadays, right?
Like LeBlanc or Shaco.
Right, so this is what you do for these fights is whenever anything happens, before you hit the closest guy, you need to think this first, okay? Because if you don't think about this first, you will hit the closest guy until you die. Yeah. That is actually what's going to happen, right? If you don't think about it before you fight, you're not going to think about it while you're fighting, right? So against their team comp, what are the top 3 things that are going to kill you?
Well, Shaco, LeBlanc.
Okay, Shaco, LeBlanc, right?
And I guess Darius.
Darius what specifically? We gotta get specific. So what Darius, from Darius?
Like if Darius flashes on me and he slows me, I guess.
Right. I would say flash pull.
Yeah, flash
would
pull
be top 3, right? So it's gonna be Shaco deceives in, LeBlanc is QR, right? And then Darius flash pull, right? Yeah. So if you haven't seen those 3 things, you can't fight.
Okay.
Or if you're in range. If you're not in range, you can fight, right? But if you're in range and you haven't seen it used yet, you can't fight, right? So we haven't seen Shaco Deceive used yet, so that's how we know you're gonna die, right? Or since we just saw LeBlanc use her abilities, and you can't chase her, she's gonna come for you once her cooldowns are up, right? So that's how we know in these fights, you know. And it's not like new to you, right? I don't think.
No.
You play mid lane. You played mid lane, right? So you're kind of dying to the same thing mid too, right? As AD carry mid, we're getting targeted by the same stuff, right? Yeah. So on your team, what would you die to if you were playing Caitlyn, for example?
If I was playing Caitlyn, well, Kassadin, Graves.
What specifically? We gotta get specific.
Well, Kassadin, like using his ulti in and like trying to just burst me.
Right, okay, so some kind of casting flank, sure.
Yeah, Sign ulti catching me out. Or
Sign ulti.
Sign Q.
Sign ulti is number one, I would say, right?
Yeah.
And then the last one would be, or third, I guess, would be what?
Graves R, maybe?
I would say something like Graves Smokescreen or something like that. Right. And then for Caitlyn, it's easy for Caitlyn to play because all you do is put a wall between you and Sion and then look at Kassadin. You're good to go. So for you, it's gonna be easy for her and hard for you, right? But it's the same idea, right? You're watching these things that are gonna kill you. Once you've accomplished that, you can hit whatever you want, right? So she can basically hit whatever she wants in these fights. Yeah. But for us, you can't touch someone unless you see these three things come out, right? And the reason why it's so unfair is because if they make one mistake, you insta kill them.
Yeah.
Right. So the burden of skill is like a lot higher in these fights, which is why they're bigger threats to you. And then, you know, the reason why burden of skill is not, you know, high on her end is because it's hard for Graves to threaten her, right? So that's the reason. And then, of course, we're just always going to die to it if, you know, we're not kind of pretending it's, exactly. It's always going to happen. I promise. It's going to happen to you over and over again.
Happen this game.
Right, like another example could be, you know, LeBlanc can go over this wall or anything like that, right? As long as, if it can happen, it will happen, right? So what do you do?
In that situation? I guess just like place. I mean, not play, but instead of like pushing forwards, just like kind of holding back, staying close to my team. So if Shaco does show like
so
a little ulti or like just one shot Shaco.
The classic example is Fiddlesticks, right? Way back in the day, Fiddlesticks was like the biggest offender of this. Is if you cannot see him, you're gonna die. Yeah. Right, so whenever you're playing against these champions who, like Kha'Zix or Talon or anything like that, if you cannot see him, you don't fight. Yeah. Right. So you wait until you can see him. So if you leave anywhere, like you're coming out here, right, going for waves or something, right? Yeah. If you can't see him, you're dying. Right? That's the idea. And then the other thing is like, oh, maybe you should get like armor boots, but I think it's acceptable to get Berserker Greaves here, right? If it's just Shaco. It's just the big idea is that, you know, he's just jumping in. It was just he got so close because they were like around the wall. So that was also parts unlucky as well. But we still have to deal with it. You know what I'm saying? Is that something like this is going to cost you games, right? You're doing really well when it came to anything else. Came to mid game farming. I think laning was like not the best, but you still came out really well, right? You still did really good. You romped these fights. It's just you're dying to stuff like kind of stuff you should be expecting. Randomly, right? Like you see Shaco bot, that's how you know you can fight, right? Oh, you see Shaco and LeBlanc, then there's no threat to you basically, right? So you guys just fight this out. Oh no, what happened here? Oh no. You don't see LeBlanc, so you're probably dying here, right? Yeah, it's kind of dicey, right? So it's the same thing. It's like sure, you know, she didn't even hit us, but you know, she could have held on to that and then done it to you when you went for them, right? So this is the big idea, is that when you're fighting, you look at the enemy team and you tell yourself, you know, while you're basing or in base or something like that, you say, these are the 3 things that are gonna kill me. Top 3 things, right? Statistically speaking, that are gonna kill me. And then you don't fight unless you have all those accounted for. Right. And then that'll, like, if you can do that in a nutshell, it'll make sure that you can't die to that stuff ever again. Right. Obviously it's like easier said than done, but the way to kind of work on it is tell yourself, this is what I do, right? If I start dying to this shit, I say, okay, I'm literally gonna die to this, this, and this. And I say it out loud. And then while I'm fighting or before I even touch anyone, I look at those 3 things. And then I make sure that we're not gonna die to any of those. Right. That's the biggest idea, is that you can't do damage unless you make sure you secure yourself from defeat. Right. Like, let's say, for example, Shaco, LeBlanc jumps in, right? Everyone turns on her, and all of a sudden, Shaco shows up at your back. It's the same idea, right?
Yeah.
It's just they're tricking you because they're like, oh, you see LeBlanc, but then you don't see Shaco, so you think it's okay since you see one threat. You see one threat is solved for, but not the other. So, so the kind of reason why we lost isn't because laning or anything like that. It's because mid game, I think we tried to hit the tower. I really don't like that option. I'm gonna tell you, never do that. Okay, always do something else. You were doing so good until we went for tower stuff, and then the second thing was we're just not watching what we died to. So I think it was just like 5 deaths in a row was the top 3 deaths.
To Shaco,
yeah, it was actually the things you told me, right? We said it's gonna be Shaco, it's gonna be a LeBlanc, and then flash pull. Flash pull never happened, but the other 2 was
it was always Shaco, LeBlanc killing me. Yeah,
exactly. So those are the things you have to account for, right? Like during game, not just like post game. It's just while you're playing. Like in this game right now, this started right off the start. This is what I do: is top 3 things on the enemy team. Sometimes it's gonna be more than 3 things, but top 3 things.
Top 3. So you mean top 3 champs that can kill me?
No. Top 3 things you're gonna die to.
Oof.
Right.
So there's Zoe Bubble, Nami Bubble. If Jax manages to land his counter strike on me, if Irelia manages to get on me.
So, which is number 1? Would you say?
I'd say probably number
most
1
likely.
Is Zoe Bubble. Like, I mean, if I don't have QSS, if Zoe lands her bubble, I can die like super fast.
Okay, I think Zoe Bubble is very high threat, right? But I also don't. Yeah, I would say Irelia stun is gonna be. It's probably number that shit is so stupid. It's like unbelievable. So I think that's number 1. I think number 2 is Jax stun, right? Because how many times you've been counter strike flash jump every time, right? Yeah. And then number 3 would be something like Bubble and or Kai'Sa.
Kai'Sa.
Right. And why do we say Nami doesn't? Why is Nami not making the top 5 list?
Well, I guess like Nami Bubble, she has to be pretty close range to. I mean, she could flash Bubble, I suppose, but
exactly. But like you said, she has to be kind of close range, and that's unlikely, right? Remember, we're talking about like
pretty slow. So if I have flash,
right. Yeah, it's just statistically speaking, we're gonna die to the things we mentioned, right? Zoe Bubble, Jax stun, Irelia stun, and then Kai'Sa. That's it. Yeah. Right. Nami is like a tier or 2 below that, but. For the most part, that's what we're looking for, right? Oh my god, the catch. Nice follow-up. Wow. Oh my god, we're gonna get her too. Oh, look at this. No problems. I don't think we really have issues. Unless, you know, in laning phase, the only issue I can see is you take free damage sometimes. Yeah. Like, how do we start with, like, how can we start it with 75% here, right? That's just a matter of, let's see what happened here. If you're going for CS, the first part is don't get hit. Okay. So like against Brand W, it's not good to get 1 CS to get hit by Brand W, for example, right? You always the trick is you're faking going for the CS and then you dodge his W, right? Okay. And even if you miss the CS, it's worth. Okay, that's what I want you to think. That's what I want you to think, right? And then we can fast forward past this. Honestly, I think your biggest problems are hitting the tower and the team fighting stuff, right? So if you ever die in this game, it's going to be one of the things we talked about already, right? Oh, this gank doesn't work, right? Oh my god. Oh yeah, it didn't work. Okay. How do we know it's not going to work?
Did Nami use her, like, okay, well, first of all, Nami's like super far back, so she's nowhere near gonna land her bubble. Kai'Sa isn't really going to do anything, and I think Zoe missed her bubble. So...
Right, the gank condition, right, is what? Oh, it's going to be bubble.
Nami hitting a bubble, or just Nami.
Right, right, or Zoe hitting a bubble, I guess. But
yeah, Zoe hitting her bubble. Yeah, it
wasn't good enough, right? So the gank condition had to be something like both of them have to hit, right? So that's how we know. Oh, and then Jax is here, so that's kind of awkward. Yeah. So it seems like we do also have a problem with out of vision, people who are not in your vision as well. Yeah, I don't think you've ever died to someone who was in your vision, but when you couldn't see them, you like died every time. You know what I'm saying? So that might be also tied in with in team fights. You know, these are the things that are gonna kill me. I can't see them. Don't fight. right?
Okay.
It does apply to lane, but much differently, right? It's like, oh, instead of like hitting the closest guy, it's like pushing a wave, right, or something like that. But in this case, I think we'll say it's okay because I think your laning is doing really well, and I think we have bigger fish to fry. But definitely map awareness is something we might want to take a look at as well.
Yeah,
right?
yeah, that's one of the issues I had mid lane too, is map awareness.
Yeah, if they can gank you, they are ganking you. Oh my
Yeah.
lord. So yeah. Same thing, same kind of idea is, this TP is coming in. Oh no, how did this not work? Let's see. Guess she barely lived, so not necessarily your fault, but okay, I wouldn't worry about this too much yet either, right?
Okay.
But what was the big idea here? What did we miss?
Did the Morgana Q hit or not?
It did hit. It did hit.
Oh, it did hit. Okay. I guess. Well, I mean, maybe I should have like jumped forward after here, like instead of jumping back.
If you jump forward, you're dying to tower, I think.
Oh,
right.
okay. Did I take aggro? Oh yeah.
You're taking tower, right? So what's the big idea here?
Maybe Morgana should like from me, or
like, how come this didn't work? I would say. How come it ended in disaster?
We got TP'd on by Aurelia.
Right, TP. Right, anything out of your vision is something we need to take a look at, because TP. How many times have you been TP'd on from behind? Right, a million times.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
I've been TP'd on from behind. Dude, everyone who plays bot is like, dude, this 4-man bot thing always happens, right?
Yeah.
Gank, TP. If something is gonna happen, it's gonna happen. Like, if something can go wrong, it's gonna go wrong, right? So, the first thing you think of is not hit the closest guy, but what?
Make sure that there's nothing that can, like as you said, like nothing that's gonna come out of vision and kill us.
Yes, right. What are the things that are gonna kill us? Right, is the first thing you must think of before you go for this.
Is dead. There's always mid, so the only thing that can kill us is the Aurelia TP.
Right, I agree. But also, just because Zoe's mid doesn't mean she can't come, right? She has TP as well.
Oh yeah, she has TP too. I didn't see that.
We'll say our counter is Kennen TP, so that can counter Zoe TP. But then Aurelia TP, okay, we have no counter, so we die, right? That's the idea, is that you need to make sure that this is solved before you fight, because something like this is always gonna happen, right? And then it's like, if you can't identify the problem, you'll never be able to fix it. Yeah. Right. So this is the idea I want you to work on, right? Is before you fight, your fighting is really good. It's just that the only times you lose is when you couldn't win. It was like impossible to win, right? It's like we put ourselves in a spot where it's not possible to win, right? So the idea is you need to make sure you know it's coming, right? It's the things you can easily identify, right? You're like, oh, Aurelia stun, Zoe bubble, Jax stun. Now it's like, before you fight, you think about it first and then you fight, right? It's like, you said Jax is dead, but then we forgot about Aurelia, right? Yeah. That's kind of the big idea. I think that all this seems fine. Why is it so fast though? Are we in fast forward? No, we're normal speed.
Maybe I recorded it in times 2.
Probably just for like laning phase or something, right? What happened here? Oh, you crazy boy, jumping in. Trusting the Morgana shield. Alright. Actually insane. Let's see. Push bot, sure. Go mid, sure. Aurelia is broken. Oh. I am surprised you live here, but let's talk about this. What happened here?
Okay, what happened here?
Is this a good fight? Would you say?
No, I guess.
How do you know?
Okay, that's because there's Jax and Nami like right by Aurelia, and it's
just looking at numbers advantage. How do you know?
Aurelia's pretty fed. Oh wait.
No, numbers advantage. Numbers advantage. Not don't worry about items or anything like that. Yeah. This is 5v3. Right.
Oh
so,
yeah.
There's no way you guys are gonna win, right? Unless they like tank tower or something like that. So sure, you can try for some outplay, but you're gonna lose this 99 times out of 100, right? Yeah. So actually we did die, right? So that's the idea. Is the only time you lose is actually when you put yourself in a spot where you can't win. So this is kind of the idea we're gonna be working on. Okay. When you want to fight, you have accounted for everything. So first is numbers, right? So I think this is the first time I saw you do like numbers disadvantage fight. But first is numbers, right? And then the second is you need to tell yourself, you know, what is going to kill you on their team, and then you can hit the closest guy, right? But everything other than that, you know, pushing out lanes, it's all really good, right? Oh, what happened here? How come we didn't push here? Oh, there's a fight going on mid. How come you don't want to go help mid?
Numbers disadvantage already.
Right, because you don't have a Quinn. So what do you do instead here?
I could just push out bot, I guess.
Right, now how do you know you don't need to help mid?
Well, Kennan's alone, so he can just like run away normally.
Yeah, he can just walk away.
Yeah, he can just walk away. There's nothing that, I mean, like he sees the TP, like he can just run away.
Yeah, he just walks away and everyone's happy, right?
Yeah.
So we're missing out on our opportunity here, but I think overall your mid game ideas are fine, right? Is you push out your lanes, get your farm. It's just when we fight, you either die to one of the top 3 things, or we die to some kind of map awareness idea, right?
Yeah.
So yeah. Oh, what's going on here? Okay. You need to go bot, right? Oh, this is kind of awkward. All right, so all this kind of stemmed from the idea is that, you know, your job is to make money.
Yeah.
Right. So, you know, you can't help mid because that doesn't make money, right? Maybe if you get an assist, maybe if they're committed, right, and it's 5v5 and you showing up, you're gonna get some kills and assists. That would be worth. But in this case, nothing's happening. So I think you need to push bot, right? And then once all this happens, what's going on here? It's so fast. But yeah, we're kind of losing money to the tower, if that makes any sense.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. What do we do here? That we said not to do, or that we discussed, I guess.
Oh, using spells for farm.
Right. Never. Yeah. We're gonna say that for now and forever. Right.
Okay.
It can only be a good habit is not using abilities. Right. You always want to hold on to them. Oh, okay, that guy died. Interesting. And then you guys gonna fight bot because you have more people. Sure. Oh, actually, Kennan's dead too. So maybe not necessarily more people. Oh boy, this is a fight, isn't it? Okay, you found a kill. Sure. Just hit the closest guy. This is winning. You just push mid. Sure. I think that's fine. Okay. What do you want to do instead of hitting tower?
Go bot.
All right, you want to push out your waves, dude.
Yeah.
This doesn't make money. It's just a trap.
Yeah,
this is a trap.
Tower for no reason.
It's a trap, okay? It's like if they are all dead, there's no possible way they can defend. You can do this, but how do you stop this earlier from going for a stun on you?
Don't hit tower.
Yeah, it's like you can't. That's the idea, is that you can't stop them from engaging, right? You have to do some kind of manual dodging, right? And if something goes wrong, you lose Baron. Oh, okay, something's going wrong. Right, so if something goes wrong, you guys are instantly losing the game. See, like it looked fine because it was 4v3, but you know, this is why I say don't hit tower, because this happens every time. Like literally every time, I promise you. You can watch your replays and note the times when teams hit tower, it will almost always go wrong, okay?
Yeah.
Never take that option, I think. Always go for the farm, right? I think that is definitely something you can apply immediately to your gameplay, right? Yeah. It's just don't go for the tower option. Yes. You have to have a very specific reason, right? And something like, it literally has to be typed in chat too, because people won't understand, right? Like saying, we're going to siege with Morgana bind. Don't do anything unless Morgana hits bind.
Okay.
And honestly, why is Morgana bind not a reason to siege tower in this case?
Because we can just get engaged on by like Irelia, Jax.
Okay, this is true.
Nami.
What's the what if their just pretend their team comp couldn't engage? Why is Morgana bind doesn't do anything?
Well, I mean, because we'd be tower dive. Like if she lands a bind on the tower, I mean, tower diving isn't necessarily a great idea. I mean,
right? You don't have anything. You have no real follow up.
There's no follow up.
Yeah, exactly. So there's just so many reasons why to not hit the tower, right? That hitting the tower has become the exception in this game, right? Before there used to be like siege comps left and right, but it doesn't exist anymore, right? That just simply doesn't exist. You just need to go and farm your waves, and that's all you have to do, right? And then I think we just died earlier here, right? This is very much similar ideas, right? We're trying to hit someone, but you know, you haven't accounted for the exact thing that's gonna kill you. I actually can't see what's going on since it's so fast. Let me see. Maybe we can like
yeah, if you put it on maybe like 0.5, it should be better. Yeah.
So yeah, here, what was it? Aurelia ulti.
Yeah,
So
the Nami ulti stopped me.
Aurelia has several things that can get you, right? So here, Aurelia ulti counts. It's super cancer, right? So the reason why you're losing is these two big ideas. Going for tower, disaster happens. And during fights, you get caught by one of these things that you can identify before the game, right? It's always going to be the same thing, I promise, right? It's like nothing new, right? It's not really new. Maybe Aurelia first day is new, right? That does count as new, but after you've seen it a bunch of times, you know it's not new anymore, right? Okay, nice kill. Like we really have no problems when it comes to regular fighting, except when we get caught by certain abilities, I think.
Yeah.
Right. I think that's the biggest issue that you have. Okay, let's see what's going on here. Okay, fighting. Okay, and then he just dies, I guess. Sure. Push mid, and then wow, Kaisa is one of the things, right? Holy shit, that champion is broken. Broken as fuck. So, what do we do here that we say don't do?
Pushed for no reason.
No. Pushing is fine.
Taking a wave here is fine, but like taking a fight.
Right. But the reason why taking this wave is not fine.
Yeah,
yes, you would have won. You would have won
yeah,
if you had your abilities.
Probably killed Kaisa there.
Because she's chasing and you had Quinn, so you could have won. But using it, this is why it's a bad habit. Is because it can only be a mistake. Okay. Basically, right now. For now, it can only be a mistake. Right. Never use abilities on minions because it's gonna prevent you from being able to do something. Right. So yeah, I think these are really three key ideas. I would say the abilities on minions one is the easiest to fix, right? Yep. And then the second easiest to fix is don't hit the tower. Don't hit the tower. You can push. After you push, don't hit the tower, right? And the third is you really have to watch for what exactly is going to kill you, right? We consider this 10 out of 10. You're playing safe and you're making sure that nothing can kill you, right? Like Aurelia's stun was already used. Jax is too far away, right? This is what we want to see, right? You kill them when they overextend or they do something stupid like this, right? That's when you kill them, right? And then Kaiser is one of the things we talked about, but you get away, not bad. But I probably want to be safer than that because I think this is kind of lucky, right? Honestly, these games they have like 10 threats on their team, so it's really hard for you to kind of pinpoint what's going to kill you. So let's say they all are threatening you. And you can't keep track of 10 things, right? 3 things is easier, but 10 things is not. So what do you do in team fights?
I guess like wait for. Well, as you said, you can't really see if. Try and just clean up the fight. I guess.
Yes. Clean up the fight.
Wait for them to get low and then clean up.
Right. You just stay super far back because even if you can't account for everything, you know that something is still up. Yeah. So you stay out of range of everything, right? And then hitting the tower is super dicey, right? I think you guys get away with it because you have Baron and they had someone who died, but since he died now, you can push, right? The difference between the tower earlier and the tower now is that he's just gone. Yeah, they're just dead. So this is the only time you want to hit tower is they cannot stop you. Okay, that's what I want you to think. But I think it's like become a really bad habit for you to go for the tower. Yeah. Yes, exactly. Even in this kind of situation, you guys, if you hit this tower, you're losing. Okay. It's the exact same reason from 20 minutes ago, or not 20 minutes ago, but 10 minutes ago in this game is because they have a way to engage you. You don't have a way to do anything at this tower, right? So what do you do instead?
Could just go bot and pick up the wave.
Well, let's say, what if you wanted to stay on this side of the map? What can you do?
Just push the wave in and wait for like.
What is this Nunu doing? That is a good option. That's not sieging.
Trying to catch with his ulti.
Right. You can camp. You can camp a bush.
Yeah.
Right. So if you push it in, you don't have to hit the tower. Right. That's trade secret. You don't actually have to hit the tower. Right. You can do this. This is very good. Right. Look, we caught someone here by doing that. Right. Yeah. So how do you reproduce this? I guess.
Pink ward in a bush and wait. Just like push in and then clear their wards.
Perfect. So anything that doesn't hit the tower though is good, right? You can even steal the whole jungle. That counts too. That's good. But hitting the tower is a mistake, right? I promise you, if you guys had tried to hit the tower, it would be donezo, right? Some kind of Zoe. You give Zoe like a million chances to do bubble shit, right? But you take a camp, you fight as a camp, right? You do this kind of thing, and all of a sudden your chances of winning increase exponentially.
Okay.
Right. So that's the idea, right? Is you want to take this kind of option, but never the tower. Okay, and then this you hit the tower because they're all dead. That's what I want you to think. Hit the tower when they're all dead. So I think really you have really clear strengths and weaknesses, right? And it's really interesting because I think if you fix the 2 easiest weaknesses, it'll be a lot better. But the third one is kind of hard to work on, right?
The keeping track of what can kill you.
Yes, exactly. Like specifically, like this Jack stun or
Jack splash,
anything like Kaisa, anything like Aurelia stun, right? Aurelia ulti. You have to keep track of that.
Yeah.
Otherwise, you can't fight. Okay, that's what I want you to think. You want to be kiting if you can't keep track of it. Okay.
Yeah.
That's literally the only way you die in fights. Besides, oh my god, you guys actually lose this game?
Yeah.
Oh
they
no.
And we lost.
Right. So I'm not gonna lie, but all of your it's like those are your only weaknesses right now at this rank. Those 3 things are your only weaknesses. And I think that's a good thing because it's not like 10 different things, right? It's like very clear things you can work on. So the first 2 I think are super easy. Okay, Band-Aid fix.
Using spells on
yeah. Using spells on minions and don't hit tower. Okay, unless they're all dead. Literally, I want you to think like, have you ever played any RTS games or any single player games, anything like that?
Wait, what's RTS? Is that
real-time strategy?
So what is that like? What kind
like
of
Age of Empires or
StarCraft?
or anything
like
like that?
StarCraft, Age of Empires.
Yeah. I want you to think that they only have workers and you have a zealot. Okay, and you're going to town. They literally cannot stop you. Okay, but let's say they have a stalker and you have a zealot. That's what's happening is that they have a stalker, you're a zealot, and you're trying to kill pylons, and they're just shooting you. Right. That's what happens in League. It should be the other way around. The stalker should be trying to fight, at the other dude's tower, right? So it doesn't make sense. So don't hit the tower. Never, unless they can't stop you. Okay, which means they are all dead or something like that, right? Like you can see, you had numbers advantage, 4v3, and you guys all died, right? To Aurelia. So a clear indicator that that's something you want to avoid. These 2 Band-Aid fixes are really good.
Yeah.
But the real thing you need to work on is when in game, avoid the thing that you can come up with before game, right? The top 3. And if there are more than 5, you say we're gonna stay super far back, no matter what, right?
Yeah.
Super far back. I think Tristana is really good for you because you can stay super far back and still contribute.
Yeah.
Right. And if mid game nothing happens, instead of pushing tower, you can easily farm side wave. So I think Tristana is if you can get out of lane like that, this is a perfect champion, right? Just make sure that you're watching these things, right? And if you have a certain answer to something like Aurelia stun, like you're gonna flash Aurelia stun, right? Then you can take the fight because you have you can beat it. You know what I'm saying? But the reason why we avoid these things,
QSS.
Yes, you have QSS versus Jack's stun, right? You can let him stun you because you can beat that, right? But if you don't, usually you don't have an answer. So we're gonna say avoid those things. Okay. Those are the 3 main things, and 2 of them are super easy to fix. So
just to go back on the hitting tower thing, do I play that to lane 2, for example, if I've got like a push?
Yes. Because what's gonna happen is that jungler is gonna gank your ass, and you're gonna get TP'd on, right? like we saw, right? What do you do instead of hitting tower? We can discuss that because alternatives are the best way to figure out what to do, right? So what do you do instead of hitting tower? Like for example here.
Farm the minions, I guess. Or
remember, what are some things we can do?
Well, yeah, for farm minions or going towards river, I guess, or roam maybe. But
okay. After you push, you can ward, right? And you can roam. Those are good options.
Yeah.
But most of the time you can't roam, right? You can. One thing you can do is right. One thing you can do is roam halfway, right? You can go up to see if they need you and then come back, right? That would be if you literally have nothing else to do. And then what's one option that we discussed that you saw late game that Nunu did? That was like really good.
Like doing a Fnatic death push type.
Yeah. You can camp a certain area.
Yeah.
That'll be better than hitting a tower, I promise. Okay. And then you see like their bot lane went top or something, and you see all 5 on the map. That's when you can hit the tower, right? It cannot stop you. So even then, you should be scared because that could be a bait. Someone's TPing behind you while you're hitting the tower. So I've fallen for that one before, but hitting the tower is the last thing you want to do. That's what I want you to think. Okay. So yeah, in terms of productivity, hitting the tower is like tied with basing if you don't have an item. So anything like warding or hiding in a bush, right? Why is hiding in a bush good in this lane, for example?
Well, we have Morgana Q, so...
Yes, exactly. You can just fucking sit here. What's Nami gonna do? Oh, she's gonna come ward, right? So
yeah.
That's what you want to aim for, right? Okay. And then, you know, there's so many reasons why we could say, you know, hitting towers is a noob trap. But another example is like, oh, you're playing Tristana, use the bomb on the tower, Jax comes out, you don't have a jump reset anymore, right? Yeah. For example. So a lot of reasons. But for now, I want you to focus on those 3 things. And I promise you, you'll have, like, if you can fix all 3, it's perfect gameplay.
Okay.
That's what I think, right? Actually unstoppable, because even without doing that, you have 14 kills. So if you can do that, it'll actually be really good, I think. Like, extremely good.
That's what I was thinking. Like, these 2 games was sort of like, I felt like it was my game to lose. Like, if
right, exactly. You're in the winning position, I think.
Yeah,
you were winning. So if you can keep yourself safe from the specific things that are gonna kill you, right? The top 3, you're good to go, because nothing strange happened in these games, I would say, right? It's not like, you know, you got surprised by something we didn't talk about, right? I think in this game, doesn't really count, but the other game, it was always LeBlanc, always Shaco. It wasn't something like Caitlyn trap or something strange like Janna flash ulti, right? It was always something very common,
predictable.
Yes, because that's the most effective, right? This is always going to be most effective. So that's what I want you to work on, these things, right?
Okay.
And remember that if there's too many threats on the other team, you stay super far back.
Yep.
Okay, that's what you do. Yeah, that's what I think you should work on. Any questions?
Nope. I think it was the only question I had was the hitting tower in lane. But oh yeah, maybe just I mean, this is probably just like a lesser thing. But build wise on Tristana, is it better to go attack speed early or going like pickaxe BF? Because I've seen like different players going different builds.
Okay, so the idea is that in the mid game you want to farm, you want to make money, right?
Yeah.
And to do that you want to push waves. So a lot of players will build static right after one physical damage item, like BF static, pickaxe static, whatever. You need that so you can push waves, right? But what if you're ahead, like 10-1? The Infinity Edge is going to give you super surprise burst, so that might be better, right?
Yeah. Okay.
So that's kind of the idea. But if you're in doubt, you just go to pro builds and you copy. You know, you can't really go wrong with static shiv after BF sword. So the build is always going to matter less than the way you play, though.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
I would say don't worry about any of that. Right. Okay. If you're following pro builds, you're doing good.
Okay.
So yeah, that's what I think. Anything else you want to cover? Any topics we didn't talk about, or anything like that?
I'm just trying to think. No, I think maybe like one thing I kind of like, we didn't see that this game, but one thing I maybe kind of struggle to do is in mid game, if for example like we lose our three towers early, do I just like I kind of struggle to know where I should move around on the map, if I should stay bar, go mid, go top. It's just like, if I don't know what to do, just default mid, or... Okay, we're platinum right now. Okay, so the first priority is you get your own lane. Okay.
You never share. Okay, never share. Even if they have 5 assassins, you need a farm under tower or something in your own lane. Because if you share, you're automatically losing the game in 10 minutes.
Yeah.
Right, because no one has any money or XP. And the second thing is, if you're bot lane and you're not sure, the cookie cutter strat is match their bot.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay. Otherwise, they probably have some kind of strategy that will get out of control, right? If you don't match their bot.
Yeah.
But let's say we're super far behind and we're trying to struggle in the mid game, then you just last hit in one lane, right? When in doubt, last hit and match. Okay. That's the basic idea. And then after that, it's about, go to the side with the objective up, right? The reason why you don't always go match to Rift Herald side is because what if your team is losing so hard you can't fight Rift Herald anyways? Then you should be pushing bot so you can maximize your money, right? Yeah. So that's kind of the idea. But the big idea is you get your own money in the mid game.
Okay.
So Anywhere that's your own lane, that's all you care about right now.
Yep.
Maybe when you get to like Diamond 3, it starts to matter, but
Yeah.
not for a while, I would say. Your own lane. Your own lane. So I think you did really well in mid game, so you should have no problems. As long as long as you don't hit the tower,
Yeah.
you should have no
hitting the
problem.
damn towers.
Yeah, you're doing really good, like in terms of picking up your side lane farms, and stuff like that. Maybe there was like one time you could have gone bot when Kennen was like walking away from it, but overall, I think it was really good. It was just the other, it's just hitting tower. It kind of blinded. It's just like warped the game in a way that you couldn't push waves. You know what I'm saying? Because everyone was dead or something like that. So
yeah.
And then if you see your team sieging, what do you do? This is a big one too.
Oh yeah. Do I just like ping them to back off? Or?
Yeah, you spam back ping. You like, never
okay.
want to siege. Okay. Even in my games, I'm spamming back ping. I'm like, I do not want to siege. Okay.
Okay.
That's if you ever see your team doing something strange, you back ping, right? See a 5v3, you back ping, right? And the reason why you back ping is because either this will happen, like they realize they're doing something stupid, so they stop doing that thing, or two, they ignore you because they think they're correct.
Yeah.
And if they think they're so right, they must have a good reason, right? And then it might turn out good, right? But either way, you want to back ping. So.
Okay.
Cool. If there's anything else comes to mind, or you want to show me any clips like, oh, I died to this thing, but I wasn't sure what I should have done, feel free to message me on Discord. I'm always online. So,
cool.
But if that's all, then good luck in your games. I'm excited to see how you do. Two easy band-aid fixes, and then the third you can work on. So,
I need to work on,
let me know how that goes. I'm always curious to hear.
Okay, thanks.
Yep. Have a good one. Good luck.
Yep.